It matches my hair, kind of. Oh, a little. Hey, it's Sue in the restricted section. Today I'm doing a February wrap-up slash book haul slash sort of TBR, so let's do this. The first book that I read in February was A Brief History of 7 Killings by Marlon James. This book is a fictional account of the actual attempted assassination of Bob Marley that occurred in Jamaica in 1976. I already did a full review of this, so I'm not going to talk about it any further here. I'll link that review down below if you want to check it out. I really love this book and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The next book I read in February was The Road by Cormac McCarthy. This is a post-apocalyptic novel about a father and son who are walking across just desolate, devastated wasteland of America, trying to make it to the coast. Megan and I also did a full review of this book, which I will link down below if you want to check that out. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. The next book I read this month was Blackout, Remembering the Things I Drank to Forget by Sarah Hepola. This is her memoir about her alcoholism and about how she sobered up. I thought this was really good. She balanced humor with such a serious subject pretty well, although in the beginning I felt like sometimes the humor just seemed a little maybe forced or out of place. I don't know, there was something about the beginning of the book that I just wasn't liking very much, but by the end I was really enjoying it, so I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was Alice in Zombieland by Lewis Carroll and Nicholas Cook. This is just Alice in Wonderland with zombies, basically. It wasn't very good. It didn't work. He just sort of replaced things with dark, macabre stuff, like instead of a white rabbit, Alice follows a black rat, and then just everyone is zombies, and they're in graveyards, and it just didn't work, and the end especially was just terrible. I didn't enjoy this at all, even though if you watched Megan and I's video about our favorite books, you'll know that Alice in Wonderland is one of my favorites, but yeah, this adaptation just did not work for me. Would not recommend. I gave it 1 star out of 5. I really didn't like it. The next book I read this month was Slaughterhouse-five by Kurt Vonnegut. This is a classic, sort of sci-fi-ish novel about a man who was in a prisoner of war in World War II, and he was in Dresden during the firebombing of Dresden, and he also is, as he calls it, unstuck in time, meaning that he can time travel to different periods in his own timeline, and he also was abducted by aliens at some point in his life, which is unrelated to the time travel thing, and I couldn't help but picture the aliens in this book as Kang and Kodos from The Simpsons. I don't know why, but I enjoyed picturing them that way. I pretty much relate anything and everything to The Simpsons. This had been on my shelf for a long time and I'd been meaning to read it, and then I saw the guys over at Stripped Cover Lit talk about it in their, I think it was their 6 books that should have been taught in school but weren't video. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. And Dalton talked about this book and raved about it and said, if you haven't read it, go read it right now. And I thought, you're right, Dalton, I should go do that. So I did. Actually, I read 2 books before I read this one, but you know, I got to it. But anyway, let's move on to the book haul. I got all these books online from Book Outlet because Book Outlet is my weakness. The books are just so cheap and I can't resist it. The first book that I got was The Unnoticeables by Robert Brockway. This book involves angels and demons, and the angels sort of watch over humans, but they're not really the good guys exactly, because when they see redundancies, like a person who's the same as another person, I guess, they just erase that person. I think it's kind of like a science fiction horror type of thing, and I don't know, it just sounded really interesting, and I think it's supposed to be kind of funny as well, so it just sounded like something right up my alley. The next book I got was The Romanov Sisters by Helen Rappaport. Yeah, this is just about the Romanov sisters, but yeah, I don't really know much about them other than how they all died, or maybe one of them didn't, who knows. But yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to learn about them. Next I got The Science of Monsters, The Origins of the Creatures We Love to Fear by Matt Kaplan. This is about how the legends of, you know, famous monsters like vampires, dragons, etc. sort of came about. It had kind of mixed reviews on Goodreads, so I don't know, it might suck, but it sounded really interesting, so I thought I'd pick it up. And then the last book I bought this month, yes, I only bought 4 books this month, unlike last month, was The Time Traveler's Almanac. And this is edited by Ann and Jeff Vandermeer, and it's just a collection of stories about time travel. And I love time travel, anything about it, I love it. I don't know why. So, you know, I just thought that this would be something I would enjoy, and I'm sure I will. So lastly, I want to talk about a couple of books that I'm planning to read this month. The first one is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. I've already barely started it. This book is set during World War II, and it's about a little girl who steals books, and I think she also lives with a family who hides a Jewish man in their house. I've heard mostly great things about it. It's a pretty popular book. I'm reading this for the Malexi Universe book club on Goodreads, which I will link down below. It was created by Camille over at the Chameleon YouTube channel and Lexi at the Clara YouTube channel, and I'll link both their channels down below as well. They're both pretty awesome, so you should check them out. But I decided to participate in their book club this month, and I'll probably continue to participate in later months. But yeah, this was another book that's been on my shelf for a while and I've been meaning to read, and it happened to be their first book club pick, so, you know, it was fate. But I'm pretty excited to get started with the discussions on their book club. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And another book I'm planning on reading in March is The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filer. And this was the pick this month for my real life book club that I'm in, with Megan's also in it. And she already read this book, and she said it was really good. It's about a man's descent into insanity, I believe. I think he has schizophrenia, so it sounds like it'll be pretty interesting to read. And then I'm sure I'll read some other books next month as well, hopefully. But I don't know what they're going to be yet, because I don't plan things ahead, ever. So, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe and check out our other videos. I'll leave some links down below where you can find us on Twitter and where you can find me on Instagram and Goodreads. And stay tuned for Megan's video, which will be up on Friday. I believe she's also doing a wrap-up video and maybe also / book haul. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!